I read all the notes, I've played the beta a bit here, and so these are my 5 changes that the biggest changes that I've noticed so far. Again, this is from the beta. It is not a final version of the game. I expect changes to happen. We have 2 months until the actual game comes out. So if you guys are playing the beta and have feedback, go leave feedback. It can be helpful. I'm not going to say it will be helpful, but guess what? It can, and we're going to get into this today. The 5 things. I have notes. I wrote stuff down. The first thing, it's obvious. Escape artist is kind of, it's not really a thing anymore. It's not an ability within the game. It is, however, an X factor within the game. Now, before you worry, quarterback movement feels okay. Actually, it feels okay. I don't feel like they're that bad. If you guys played next gen Madden 21, it kind of feel that way a little bit, where in that version of the game, you actually didn't need escape artist to move with your quarterback. This kind of feels similar-ish. It is the best way I could describe it. If you've played that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If you didn't play it, you won't understand what I'm talking about. Try your hands on the beta with it. But I'm okay with this. I wish EA would ever get into the policy, quite simply, of fixing things instead of removing them. But hey, here's where we are. We'll deal with it. Escape artist, kind of gone. Mobility, still there. Not as much, not nearly as much, but it is still there. If you're looking to replenish, restock, or finally try out some G Fuel, head on over to gfuel.com or click the link in the description. Right now, my code TheActualCC is saving you 30% off. Normally it is 10%, so if you guys see this later, that's what it is. Go get hydrated, go have fun, let's be great. Let's go. Second thing we're going to talk about here is flipping the play. You know what I'm talking about? Did you ever play online and someone would come out in bunch and immediately flip it on you and it would mess up your defense? They may still do stuff like that, but the reason they did that and people flipped their play so much is that when you would hot route, you would be able to keep your hot routes in certain places. So they would put like a post on the outside, flip it, and he would go to the inside. Now he was on a post, right? When you flip the play, it does reset your play art now. Hopefully that's the way it stays, and hopefully that's a thing going forward. It was a really annoying thing. Flip, 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 flip. Bothered me. It bothered me. I didn't do it, but it bothered me. And again, I understand why people did it. I understand why the best players in the world did it. It was an advantage. It was an advantage for getting your route set, and then at the same time, when you would flip your play, it would give you time on offense to hot route and the defense not time to set up. Monumental change. I cannot understate how big of a change this is within the game. It is something that we have needed for a long time, and let's be honest, it's something they could have easily done in any of the previous Maddens, but they didn't. Again, I'm not going to shame them for what they haven't done. We will only say good job for what you have done here for this little feature. Flipping the play resets. Love it. Next thing is just going to be defense, zones, and pass rush in particular. Again, I expect this to change from now until actual release, maybe even change throughout the time of the beta. Zones play pretty well. They play pretty well. You guys remember the 91 zone time? It feels a little bit like that, and pass rush feels a little overpowered. When you have really good coverage and really good pass rush, it actually makes the game very, very difficult. Now, I think defense does need to exist. There are still one play touchdowns within the game. I have found 1 or 2 already myself. But the zones themselves, they do indeed play better. They feel like 91 zone-ish is the best way I'm gonna say that. And the pass rush does come at you pretty heavy. Again, I expect those things to be tuned down. They do feel like they're probably too much from a casual perspective, right? Maybe on the competitive mode, they stay a little bit more, but on the lower modes, I think that they'll probably get tuned down. Again, is that a welcome change? Well, I feel like it's a lot of an overreaction because Madden 22 had almost no defense on next gen, at least. And this is an overreaction. EA, they're like, oh, people run the ball a lot, nerf the run. People passed, add defense. This is what they do. This is not new. This is very, very normal for them. Again, go out there, try, pass the ball. It is possible to pass. You do have to be quicker with your reads and all that. I know you could talk about some of the precision passing and all that, and I'll be honest, I haven't used enough to give an opinion on it. So I won't. Because I don't really know how to do it all yet. And when we do, we'll talk about it. But for now, zones, definitely better. Pass rush, definitely better. But I feel like they're going to turn it down at least a little bit. Next thing I noticed here pretty quickly was quarterback accuracies. Again, does this go with the precision passing mechanic? Potentially here, right? Again, not really using that. But I also noticed more under pressure. Again, maybe it's from the pass rush, right? But when under pressure, the quarterback was missing throws. When rolling out with a, call him not as big of a scrambler type quarterback, you were missing some throws. I even started to adjust myself when I would roll. We always get in the habit of rolling and throwing. Now I was rolling, stopping, and throwing, and my passes were indeed being completed up at that point. So I'm okay with that, you know. Again, play blind throws, idiot type of throws that were really in the game and all that. It feels like it's tuned down. Again, with more reps, maybe we'll find out what works. Maybe you need an ability or this or that. But again, it's something that I really quickly did notice with the game. Again, maybe it's part of it's the pass rush because I'm rolling and being chased, or I'm staying in the pocket and the pressure's coming in. But more importantly, being under pressure does seem to carry at least a decent penalty when throwing the ball. Now, would that be the same way? Again, who knows? But I just want to call it out. If you guys are seeing the same thing, let me know. Again, this is sort of a forum for us to discuss. Because if I'm seeing something, you're not seeing something, maybe I'm doing something wrong potentially. Or if you are seeing something that I'm not seeing, maybe you're doing something wrong or vice versa, right? So quarterbacks, pressure is a thing, and setting your feet seems to be a bit more of a thing unabilitied. And the last part here is the playbooks. I know we mentioned it in the morning video that they said they were simplifying playbooks, and they definitely did simplify. Especially on the defensive side, it seemed to me. I noticed less plays in there, some different plays as well, different formations. Not gonna go into a lot of detail about like, oh, they added this, because I don't know if it's good or bad or whatever it is, right? But I definitely saw those sort of things. I saw some cover 2 trap plays, cover 2 inverts, new plays there, and a lot of this other stuff just sort of taken out. Again, if you want to use match coverages, you have to use the match coverage toggle within the menu system, right? But if you use zone drops, it's going to cancel that anyway. This match is more of a man coverage thing in there. By them removing a lot of those different things really does sort of just make everything feel that way, that everything plays spot drops on zones. So even like your palms, right? If you call palms, it's just going to play, you know? New stuff in there. Again, I saw some stuff that may have been removed, but with it being a beta and part of the early release, I don't want to overreact and like, why did you remove this from this playbook? It might be there at the end, right? So I'm not going to judge on like, oh my God, they removed something I liked from a playbook. I haven't had time to go through all the playbooks yet. That's just going to be completely honest. But I did notice that they did clean stuff up, and I think that makes for a better experience. Not necessarily for me, but for a more casual user. Again, I feel like seeing hundreds and hundreds of plays that you can pick from can be very intimidating. Limiting that number down is better 100%, because a lot of times if you're asking Madden, a lot of people do ask Madden when they play this game, it's picking them really, really bad plays. They're trying to get rid of the bad plays. You still do need to have some bad plays in the game. There are going to be plays which are better. They're going to be plays that are worse. If there's a playbook and there are 9 plays in there and 5 of them are good or 4 of them are bad or 4 of them are less than good, I don't even want to say bad, right? So you're going to use your top 5 plays. The other 4 you're just not going to use anyway. Doesn't mean only put 5 plays, because there was only 5 plays. Maybe you only run 3. You feel me here? So you still need plays. You still need some diversity and depth. But again, taking some of the trash out is always welcome, right? They're just cleaning up. I'm here for a good cleanup on some of this stuff. But those are my initial super fast thoughts, guys. I expect a lot of this to change. Again, if you have feedback, please go provide the feedback. I will provide feedback where necessary. I'm not going to focus necessarily a lot on, I think something should be this way. When I provide feedback, I like to look at it as, hey, I don't think what you want to happen is happening, right? Again, so that's the difference of me thinking that something is broken versus something that, I wish it did this, right? There's wants and there's things that we want within the game. And for me, my feedback is always about, hey, I think this just isn't working as intended. Maybe you go check this out. So my feedback definitely goes in a different direction, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Go check out the other videos right here. If you want MLB The Show, go click on that as well, because I love that game too. It's summer. We got to play both games. Love you. I'm out. Peace.